Welcome back to Drift Delvers. It is episode something or another. I think it's 53.
53.
We're in there somewhere, man.
Yeah.
69.
I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
You know, it's apropos of nothing. Were you guys good at doing homework in school, in grade school?
No, not really.
I was decent.
I don't believe you, John. Out of everybody here, I would have said that you were the worst at doing homework. But so
I understand why you would think that.
Yeah. So you kept up with your assignments in school?
Yep.
John was a great student. You should see the spreadsheets and notebooks he created.
Jeez, I wonder what, John, tell me, what happened?
I met you
What's
guys.
happened since then?
Met us.
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
I said I met you guys.
That can't possibly be the reason.
Oh, totally. No,
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, people change. What can I tell you?
People change.
People regress. I can't, it's fine. Dustin, were you good at school?
Kinda. I never really studied that much until I got to college,
Yeah, I did not do any homework or really much studying in high school, and was in for really rude awakening when I got to college, because you have to study and do all that kind of stuff, so I had to figure out how to do that really quick.
Yeah. I never read a textbook in high school. Never did I read a textbook. Just had them,
Mm-hmm.
I was a really good test taker. Same. I always felt confident taking tests, and so I didn't have to try super hard in regular school, and then same rude awakening in college when it's a lot more involved and intense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like the classes there, it's like they don't teach everything in the class, right? That you're expected to know, as opposed to high school, where your teacher is going to kind of tell you what you're expected to know in that class. There's a large percentage of information that you are responsible for that is not presented in a lecture or in the class, And so, yeah, I did have to develop some skills with there, although I did not finish college, so I guess I didn't get too great at it. But I also had a child and a band to worry about, so college became pretty low on my priority list. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and having a kid will change a lot, you know?
Totally.
Nobody got time for that. College.
I was just really bad at keeping up with my Spanish homework because it was all online. And it was due at a certain time. I think more and more homework now is like that, where it's it's something online that you have to turn in.
See, I've been I'm working on another degree right now, and I'm taking all online classes. And I actually, initially I was very worried about it because I'm a social person and I benefit from the interaction. But I do just, hey, here's a list, here's when everything is due, just get it done on your own time. It took a little bit of adjusting, but I've been knocking it out. It's my third semester doing it, and it's this is nice that it's just up to me when to do this.
Yeah, that works out pretty good, except for those 2 days when you're trying to do all the assignments and you get really pissy with us.
Yes,
but you do get them done, so
Yeah, I was a procrastinator.
The procrastination is the problem.
Procrastination is definitely. It's definitely a boogaboo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll get you.
That's where I do my best work, man.
I was going to say the same thing, man.
My problem is until I feel the realness of the pressure, I'll procrastinate, right? But then when I feel an actual emotion about this has to be done, then I lock in and I'm the best student that I could be as far as motivation and getting it done and having the motivation to do it. That's the problem.
I feel like that's a bit of cope, but maybe not. You know what I mean? But if you always procrastinate, how do you know that you're a better student when you procrastinate than you are if you don't? Because you don't have a control against that to see, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
The problem is whenever I'm doing the the work and I haven't procrastinated, which I'm not trying to laud procrastination as a good thing. It certainly isn't. But like having that like have to focus, it sure works as far as being able to focus. That's the problem I run into is whenever I mean there have been times that I like did my stuff early or attempted to, and like it's way easier to get distracted because you don't have to. It's like, oh, I don't need to get this done right now.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
external incentive, you know.
Obviously, if you have pressure because you have to do it, then you will do it because you have to do it, right?
Right.
But something that I've learned in my 43 years of living on this planet is that inevitably, you know, you could push a project, an idea or something to, you know, the last week that it's due. And inevitably something else will come up on that week and will like just put a whole big huge hole in that, right? You know, you get sick or, you know, something happens and like, so like I have learned that to do things like when I have the time and I don't have anything else to do, should try to get those things done at those moments because, you know, the world is chaos and anything can happen tomorrow. So like I try to say, okay, well, I do have this time right now. I might as well take advantage of it, you know? And
well, so early in the semester, I'll get real excited and I'll knock out a bunch of work early on and get that gratification of like, hey, I did this well before a deadline required me to. What I do find annoying with some of these online classes is lockout assignments, where it's like you're not allowed. It's like you're not allowed to start this. This won't open until this date, and it's like, oh well, that time that I had where I could have knocked this out, you literally wouldn't let me. You know, like I've had that in numerous classes the last couple semesters where it's like early in the semester I will really like get stuff done ahead of time, and as the semester goes on, like you run into barriers where it's like, okay, I've done all my work, but I'm not allowed to start on these other few assignments until Sunday, you know, so or until like, Thursday or whatever.
You're like a bookend accomplisher. Get a lot done at the top, nothing done in the middle, and then a lot done at the end.
Right. I start off really excited, and then when that fades, then the procrastination starts, and then it's like, okay, get it all done at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, look, procrastination has definitely been something that is that I've had to deal with in myself, you know, and I still do. There's oftentimes that I will, particularly with work. I think it's still very present to me at work, but that's because I'm less passionate about the things that I have to do, I guess, in that, you know, so I'm just a little less motivated overall to do it. But, you know, like, that being said, I have learned, you know, that if I get some of these things done for the big audit ahead of time, then I'm not stressed at all during audit
You don't
time.
have it on your shoulders.
Yeah, because it's
like,
already done, you know.
Pick it at the back of your neck or something, you know what I mean?
So it in the long run, I do believe that, like, doing things when you have time to do them saves mental health, makes the thing more enjoyable when you're doing it because you don't have the added stress of pressure. You know, now,
for real, I'm going to start that tomorrow.
I do believe a pressure cooker can yield some pretty amazing results, though. So I won't disagree with that because
there's truth to it.
Yeah.
Well, I will also say, as far as like the end of semester, you know, when I get pissy, it's like that isn't always from procrastination. Like finals week is going to suck no matter how well prepared you are.
Oh yeah,
you
absolutely,
know?
Yeah.
Like those last couple weeks of a semester when you're taking multiple classes and all of your finals are coming up. Like I don't care if you were on top of stuff 99.9% of the semester, you're going to have a rough week and a half.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, finals weeks are designed to be shitty. They're you know,
cruelty is
designed to
the
be
stress
shitty.
is the point. Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, the reason that I bring all this up is because I just want to kind of rib you guys a little bit because you leveled up at the end of last episode and a little bit behind the curtain. It's been
Brown.
22 days since we have recorded last and leveled up. There was a couple reminders thrown out in our Discord chat, and it didn't get done, but we got it done today as a group in the pressure cooker. We got leveled up.
I leveled up.
Yeah, it's good. I just wanted to kind of bust some balls a little bit because
Can I give you an
that's my
excuse?
prerogative.
A lame
Yeah.
excuse?
Sure.
Here's my lame excuse.
All right, let's hear it.
I had to level up 3 characters, and I forgot. Okay, the last one.
That is valid. I actually thought about that because I was like, one day I was like, okay, I was in the under the table chat. I was like, all right, don't forget to level up. And then I went to the Shadow Protection Agency, like, don't forget to level up. And then I went to the Drift Delver. I was like, don't forget to level up. And I'm like, oh shit, like all of our shows leveled up at the same time.
Yeah,
and
man.
Just throwing
It's
that
like
out
finals
there.
week.
Yeah. Just throwing
Yeah.
this out there for whenever
failed.
we do pick Live and Let Fly Up, you need to have been leveled up for that too. So if you
Should have already leveled up. Should have already leveled up.
Should have already leveled up your Live and Let Fly character. Just throwing that out as a little extra reminder. But at the top of this episode, before we get into the story and the goods, this adventure has made it a little bit difficult to do our typical role play level ups because there's just not a lot of downtime, and your level ups this time was granted to you just through magic and boons of Desna. So they're like you literally just were gifted these new powers. So I just want to kind of do a out of character roundtable discussion about our level ups. We're in a new tier. Level 5 starts a new tier of like power tier, right? Because you get your ability score increases, which is a big deal. Everything just gets a little bit better. I don't think there's a lot of like big juicy stuff with the exception of precog, but anyway, we just let's go around the table. John, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like level 5 is a big deal, but it's because of the ability increases as much as anything else.
Yeah. John, because I picked on you the hardest, I'm going to start with you. It's all good. Tell me what Subana Grimfang got from Desna here at level 5.
So at level 5, Desna bestowed a improve to my paradoxes. So basically now I can use a paradox on essentially almost any D20 roll. Followed by a new temporal anomaly. It's just labeled as Social Seer for now. We'll see it in effect when it comes into effect.
Spoiler alert, it's about social skills.
Right, yes. And for the feats, I ended up choosing spell focus. Hadn't had that yet. And now I should be able to hit more successfully on my spells.
Yeah. It raises those GCs, which is just so clutch given the math of Starfinder. All right. Sounds good. I know you got a couple other spells, but we can let those come out in the moment. That's good. How do you feel about your overall ability score? Boost, you feel stronger?
I feel more capable, for
a lot
sure.
more lithe, a lot more intelligent?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. You're a
doors.
precog. You get to procrastinate because you can reverse time.
Yeah.
So
That would have been
wish I
real
could,
nice
man.
during finals week,
Freaking hacker man over here.
I'm going to go up the row or the column as it is on my Zoom call. So Zach, that puts you next.
Okay. Not a whole lot. I did get a new feat, so I took in harm's way, as
Nice.
any good tank must.
Now, when you say in harm's way, you can actually mean it.
I can actually mean it, yes. I've been wanting to do it for a while, So I took that.
I'm so pleased with you taking this.
Of course. Dude.
It's the must for your
And
frontline
it's going to
tank.
benefit me as much
Yeah.
or more than anyone.
The
you know?
most. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Entropic Strike leveled up. It now does 1d6 plus 9 acid or bludgeoning damage, which is nice.
Hell yeah.
Of course, I had to skill up the Odachi of Clan Vaho. just the sword itself. You know, it's a scaling weapon, right? So at this level, I have the wound critical
The
effect
wound
now.
table? Nice.
Nice.
You have
And
access
I
to the wound
also-
table. Fuck yeah.
Yep, I added the holy fusion to the
Oh,
thing
right.
as well, and I added the block special property. So whenever you successfully strike an enemy with the weapon, you get a +1 AC against that enemy for the next round or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's so dope.
So Zach, you were the gold star student here. You had this done literally the night we finished. But I think you
that's
might
correct.
have missed something, or maybe you just have forgotten that you did this. You get entropic attunement at level 5, which gives your entropic weapon also another special property that you choose from.
Yes, and I chose force for that.
That's the best one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the best one.
yeah. I chose force.
So now it can do force damage as well as acid or bludgeoning, right?
Yes. As entropic strike does. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
But now you can add force to those options.
Yeah.
Correct.
What's the sound of force damage? Weird question.
Is it deep?
I feel
or
like
is
it's a
it high-pitched?
lightsaber. You know what I mean?
Like lightsaber? There you go. Yeah.
It's a high frequency blade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a void,
through
right?
the
So
air.
it's like what? A void saber?
Cool.
All right.
Tight.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah. And I mean, I got an ability score increase. You know what I did, man. I mean, it's pretty straightforward stuff. You don't want to throw that thing into stuff that you're actually going to use.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I did.
So you put it in charisma.
Yep. Charisma and intelligence. You
Just
know how
put
I
all
do.
4 in
Yep.
charisma. Yeah.
No, I put it in Dex, Strength, and Constitution. And I actually did put a point into Charisma to get me back to baseline 10.
Nice. So now you're
So now Sayun is extremely charismatic.
yeah, like I mean, the life of the party.
Yeah,
It's all those photos that you were taking.
right.
Okay, Heath, you're next, bud.
Okay, I just want to say on record, I did my homework early too, so me and Zach should both be Gold Star students.
Too late.
I'll give
I
you a
already got
silver
it.
star. I'll give you a
Already got
silver
it.
star because you did get it done in the first week, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Look, he really wants that gold star. Look,
did.
listeners,
I
you
did.
can't see, but
I did it right. Well, I mean, you bragged on Zach for doing it right after the episode. I did too. Like, I finished the episode and went and leveled up immediately. We just had to fix some errors on my Foundry sheet with skills, so I feel like I'm getting taxed for that
Yep.
when it's not
Yep.
my fault.
show your work. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
Silver
Foundry's
still
what problem. Silver does still spend. At level 5, my evolutionist got a new feature as part of its class called Evolution Drain.
Okay.
And that's kind of like if you go look at the little chart that has your level ups, it's the only thing in the special category. So it's really all I got other than the ability score increase and skills. But it's a big block of text, but I'll just shorten it for you. It's a special attack I can use that allows me to gain extra mutation points. So I'll do this evolution drain attack with my dragon claw, and the enemy will roll a fortitude save, and if they pass, I get an extra mutation point. If they fail, I get a D3 mutation point and sicken them.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That is nice.
And then I did strength and dex, and I did some intelligence to get to broaden out my skills, because skills are not the evolutionist's best aspect. So now I will at least be able to attempt to aid with stuff like computers and engineering, which is, nice. And I'm pretty decent at some of the sciences, life and physical science. I'm not too shabby.
Nice. All right, good deal.
Yep.
Well, that leaves Dustoni.
That is me. And this is Gilderon. I'm feeling quite blessed by the goddess Desna. And it shows up in a feat called Divine Blessing. I have it and you don't. So obviously I'm blessed by Desna. She sent me a DM. And did it through DMs. So yeah, my deity sometimes grants me a burst of luck. Once per day, you can re-roll any failed skill check. So that kind of goes really well with all the other things I have. So now I can
There's like
roll.
3 ways you can reroll.
I have 3 ways to reroll skill checks.
Yeah.
You know, if I roll a 1, I can, with my gnomish luck, I can reroll, and if it's computers, I can reroll as well.
Yeah,
now this gives me a general reroll.
Nice.
It goes really well with just being a gnome in general. But also that spell is like, if you're new to the game and you're playing a character that you want them to have, being religious as and dedicated to a deity as like a core part of that character, it is like one of the first feats you need to take. Because it gives you a different benefit. It has a list for all of the deities, and each one has a different unique benefit that pumps up the vibe of that god.
Like, why can't you worship multiple ones and get multiple benefits?
Well, you can.
I
You
guess-
just have to take the feat twice.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I'm just gonna get blessed by so many gods. They're gonna love me. Just divine
You're
blessing.
gonna piss off Desna.
Yeah, I see you've been talking.
Been
to
running
you
Been
around
cheating
on me.
Yeah.
Been worshiping other deities behind my back.
Hi,
And
Omen.
Zon Kuthan of all the choices.
Yeah. All right. Well, good stuff. We got to level up. Do you guys remember what's happening?
No.
We've been raving and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that was a while back. Yep.
And
I mean, everything's a while
Defeated
back.
Korra.
Defeated
No,
Korra.
Desna wants to send us on a mission
To the astral plane.
to the astral plane, right? To like the River of Souls or something.
Yeah, yes.
Like
Correctamundo.
a ship is stuck,
going ever closer to the
right?
Yes.
Am I in the
Boneyard.
neighborhood on that?
You're nailing
Yeah.
it so far.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We got to go up into the astral plane.
Yeah, she wants you to. Find this. It's a family of explorers.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was like a
the Wise family. And you're trying to find their
Swiss
ship,
Family Robinson.
Sounds like the Fantastic Four.
and you're trying to find their ship, the Curiosity.
okay.
All right.
Nice.
And so she sent you there as her chosen heroes, to kind of help out some of these other effects that have happened because of the drift crash, right? And so Desna's kind of been all over the place trying to do some damage control on all the negative impacts of the initial drift crash, and so she needs a little help, and she sent you this way. And I guess that's where we will start. Yes, sir.
Have you guys ever seen either the old or the relatively new version of Lost in Space?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I know
Never
of
seen
it.
that show? Okay.
On
I mean,
Netflix?
it's the,
Or-
yeah,
and the
well,
old one.
Yeah, the old one's from like the 80s or something. But it just feels like from this family's perspective, it's very kind of lost in space.
And the ship is named Curiosity. I wonder if it's a family of Patra.
Well, time will only tell. What, you angling for inspiration?
If it is a family of Patra, that's like
Curiosity
naming.
killed the cat.
yeah, exactly.
right,
Good naming
right.
on Paizo's part. Yeah.
Well, but it's also like, why? If you're a bunch of cats, why would y'all ever get on this ship called the Curiosity? You know it's gonna kill you.
Yeah, like
It's ironic.
You're
it
asking
won't
for it.
happen.
Yeah. This is their fault.
It's like it's like the captain of the Titanic being like, "This is a literally unsinkable ship."
Yeah.
like don't tempt fate like that. You know what I mean?
That's how bad shit happens. Okay, so just a quick reminder too. Carl the pirate and your media handler. I can never remember her name. Do y'all remember her name?
They're jumping off, right?
Isn't it Angela or something
Angela,
like that?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're headed home, and they said that they would deliver messages to appropriate people that you guys are alive,
Yes.
safe, or well, alive, we'll say, and all that. But you also gained a new crew member in the twin of Korra, named Karo. Did we say Karo? What did we settle
I
on?
think we said. I think we
K-Ro.
were
Karo, I think is what we
Caro.
settled.
Yeah, it was Caro. We were just
Caro.
memeing K-Ro, sir.
Yeah.
K-Ro, syrup.
And he is
What's
the
up, K-Ro?
much more
Connell.
benevolent aspect of the AI that was Cora is now going to serve as the virtual intelligence for your ship, and kind of upgrade your ship there. So you do have that addition. Everybody got on the ship. You got the currents, or you got the coordinates to the astral plane. She gave you a specific crystal that has the navigational data that can be programmed into your signal chaos engine that will take you to the astral plane and into the general vicinity of the starship Curiosity and the wise family that is aboard. So, we're going to jump right into that travel.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's go. I want to say I actually composed some background music specifically for this section.
Oh, nice.
So, you know,
What a treat.
yeah, so, you know, enjoy that if you'd like.
No, I won't. I won't
That's
do
fine.
it.
It is your choice. Either way,
tomorrow.
you know.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow.
I didn't know that was an option. Okay.
Okay, so we good, everybody? Good, everybody locked in?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you a picture, but let me read some box text as you enjoy this picture.
I'll allow it.
The Primarana glides through a vast silvery gray sea within which translucent shapes float by soundlessly. Some of these shapes look familiar. Animals, household pets, and objects, ghostly starships, while others are just roiling, unformed masses of ectoplasm. But one feature interrupts the unending sea of the astral plane, a shining ribbon of silver winding in the distance like a faraway river shrouded in mist. And this picture is a depiction of what you see.
Frankly, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. I don't know why we're doing this right now. Even if a god did tell us to do this, it's just terrifying.
Yeah, it's almost in the it is in the shape of Pharasma's spiral,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
and it seems
yeah.
to be like ending its pathway into this giant, like black star shape of nothingness, you know, which is presumably the gateway to the boneyard, which is once you're there, you're gone, you're donezo, it's over, you know. So this is generally what you see. You can quickly identify this. You know, the scientist in you would, and certainly Raya with her planar studies would. This is the River of Souls, and what it is an incredible supernatural phenomenon of disembodied souls on their way to the boneyard for judgment. There is a single starship that is floating, drifting along the river, broadcasting a distress signal that identifies it as the Curiosity.
Yeah, I mean, Raya seeing this is just like jaw on the floor, you know, and it's like, it's really the River of Souls. Like, I mean, most people don't get to ever see this, at least on this side of the veil.
I never would have thought in a million years of being here. My, look at it spiral.
It's
I've never seen anything. I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect this.
Incredible and terrifying. Let us not linger here longer than necessary.
Do you
I
think
agree.
Do you think that this is more scary than the black hole that the Cos Monastery was being drawn into?
no, but I think it's equally as like
Ominous.
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
It's in the ballpark, you know.
It is
Yeah.
also a cosmic phenomenon
Yeah.
that is well beyond mortal ken. that you know that we just do not comprehend or understand or have any ability to control what happens within it. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
It is an eldritch horror of unimaginable power and awe, and we are yet again heading straight towards it.
Exactly. This
We should
divine
both
black
fear
hole.
and respect it, you know?
Yeah.
Adam, would you say that? So it's like the River of Souls going into this. It's almost. It doesn't look like one, but it has that feeling of almost being like a black hole. Would you call this like a? Would this be a planar gateway or a rift of some kind?
I don't know for sure, but I would venture to say that nexus of the river serves as a planar gateway to the boneyard, whatever that means. I think the boneyard is still within the astral plane, but it is also a different section of that plane.
Its own thing.
Yeah.
I ask because of my theme knowledge. I get reduced DC to recall knowledge about open or closed planar rifts and gateways. So would it be valuable to try to learn anything about this?
I mean, it might, but unfortunately, your GM is without any further knowledge to impart upon you about this. So,
okay.
As
It's
much
the
as
scope
I'd
of
like
this
to,
adventure.
as much as I'd like to, I think that this is probably the most that anybody has ever seen that is a living person. People don't travel to the astral plane on a regular basis, unless they die. And so, there's probably just not a lot known about that, right? But you do know that what I can tell you is that touching that nexus is annihilation for your living form.
Okay, it'll send you to the boneyard.
It'll send you to the boneyard.
Let's not do it.
So let's avoid that.
We can see the curiosity.
You can see the curiosity. It's a explorer class vessel. If you guys could run some sensors on it, I guess.
Definitely.
If you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to open up the sensors to the River of Souls too, and be like, we don't get a chance like this every day. Let's open up these sensors and collect all the evidence we can, all of the data.
All right.
Absolutely.
We've already got everything we can get on it, I think.
Well, yeah, but
narratively,
generally speaking, you're getting more information than I can actually impart. That might be useful to take back with you, right? So I'm about it, and maybe I'll do some research when I get to it.
Yeah. And I was supposed to be some kind of like energy specialist, like Gilderon is familiar with different kinds of energy.
Yeah.
Far and beyond just like electricity, So this is something that not a lot of people get to observe and collect, just any kind of data. Just open the sensors and hit record kind of thing.
Exactly, like visual and audio data. Absolutely, everything.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, several of us are specialists. It's just been rough to get much out of it so far.
Okay, so you start just collecting data from the River of Souls. You also run a scan on the Curiosity. And as I said, you can determine that it's an Explorer class vessel, that it's equipped with pretty sophisticated scientific equipment, but it has only the most basic defenses and weaponry, right? So it is not a fighter ship by any means. It is very much a scientific vessel. And the sensors, as you get closer to the ship, as you kind of fly in closer, the sensors reveal 5 humanoids aboard. But the ship is nearly submerged in the ghostly ectoplasm of the River of Souls. Would you like to try to hail the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Subana, take it away.
Curiosity, this is the Primarana. Do you hear us?
For a second, there's nothing. Then you hear, get him, and like sounds of combat and screaming, panicked voices shouting in common, and one voice manages to cut through and says, "I'm Lonnie Wise, and we need assistance immediately, please." And contact is lost.
All right. We need solutions. How do we get aboard?
Do we have to calculate some kind of like route to like
No.
ease into the stream, or can we just
because the airlock of the Curiosity is on the exposed side of the ship. You know, not in the submerged side. So you can pull up and just drop your connector to their airlock pretty easily.
Okay.
Maybe we can, maybe Sayu and you could just jump out with a cable line and we can just tow this guy right out of the river.
I'm sure it will be that easy.
There's nothing really dangerous right here, just a bunch of dead people. We're not gonna get into any trouble, obviously.
Yes, our track record is sterling for such for such endeavors.
I don't know, man.
Let's go hook up.
Yeah, let's
I'm
go
both
hook up.
aboard.
Well, why not? Let's just see what
Walter's
happens.
like looking back at you, tusk aglow with sweat.
Just a sheen, a full sheen of it. You know?
I've really enjoyed piloting for you guys, but this continual need to put yourself in the gravitational pull of certain annihilation, it's getting a little troublesome. I signed up for it. I guess it's a little nerve-wracking.
You're going to be a legend after this, Walter.
I can't wait to be a player character.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Well, based on your outfit at the rave, you're already halfway there. You are a player.
Oh, you noticed?
Hard not to.
Yes.
Okay, so Walter, very carefully, and you get the sense that Walter's piloting skills has been steadily improving since the beginning of this endeavor. You know, almost as if he's somewhat leveling up with you to a point to where he like it's kind of impressive at this point how he's able to bring your ship in parallel to the Curiosity, and like first, you know. He gets there, and then Lenny launches the tube, you know? And he hits it on the first try, you know?
Of course. Naturally.
And like, everybody's just like operating on point, okay?
Walter, you're the tusked butterfly. That's what we should call you.
I like it. Just call me TB. Wait,
TB.
don't do that. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's try something else.
Workshop it for right now.
Sweats like a walrus tusk, stings like a bee.
So, yeah, you guys get all hooked up and are able to make your way onto the ship. And
So just like a mental picture, like we're like above the river, kind of like going like in parallel to the ship.
So
and there's like
the way I'm picturing it in my mind is that if the river is horizontal, then the Curiosity is like meeting it at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
And like one half of the ship is buried in ectoplasm, and the other half. So now you flew up.
It's almost like
and,
listing, like an actual ship on water.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah, we got you on a new map here, and as soon as you board the Curiosity, you hear like muffled screams and thuds coming from the front of the ship. You find yourself in an airlock that has 3 doors. There's one door that to the south that is clearly marked storage. There's a door to the north that is marked facilities. Then there's another airlock door that looks like it goes into the engine bay, but you also see a sign that says bridge, like it says engine bay and bridge through that door. So you got choices of which ways you want to go here.
I mean,
I say we run towards the screaming.
right? Realistically, let's just go to it, right? Like, I mean, the dungeon crawler in me wants to like let's search every room.
Well, the
Right.
dungeon crawler loot goblin in me, I was already like about to. We should clear, in case there's threats, we should clear all the rooms, so on our way out we don't run into something that would slow us down.
It does sound like they're under present attack.
There's urgency here.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
so
would-
let's go to the Engine Bay Bridge.
Yes. Okay, so that's straight ahead. I'll unpause the game. You guys can start moving yourselves in that direction.
Champion of Desna coming through.
Yeah, so you open the door and you see, pretty solid engine room, right?
Oh,
looking pretty
interesting.
good. You got,
Yeah, we got a big core in here.
yeah, absolutely.
We got
Very
two
tidy.
fancy balls that I'm sure are extremely powerful balls.
They are the most powerful balls.
Yeah.
I'm not
Resonating.
sure what the nature of these balls are, but they.
Those are actually
power
the balls
balls.
of Caden Kalian.
Yeah, it is.
The big iron balls.
Those are certainly some pulsing spheres.
So the balls are the core, the power core. Okay.
Okay.
And then the square is the drift engine, and it's obviously not functional. And then there's a couple of consoles here in this room as well. You do see a door to another airlock directly across from where you came in, but of course you're headed to the bridge, which is clearly
North.
through a door to the north.
Say and
So you
push us
open
through.
that
Ooh,
door.
What is the? We got some like effects here.
All right, so you open the door, and
Oh no.
Not this room.
yeah, well, this hallway is filled with ectoplasmic goo.
Okay.
And at the end of the hallway, there are 4 creatures kind of floating among the goo. And I'm going to show this to you guys. I'm going to let you guys try to describe this because I sure as hell can't.
Okay.
The fuck?
Oh, it's a little tornado.
It's
it
a
looks
salt
like
tornado.
a little tornado. Yeah.
Yeah.
With
but
like
look at it
glowing
closer.
blue light coming out.
Like, look closer. Look
There's
closer
like
into it.
there's like the shapes of what appear to be maybe skulls.
Screaming faces.
Screaming faces.
Oh shit! It's a
Soul
fucking.
cloud.
It's
soul.
pretty
It's a new
close.
fish song.
It's a miasma.
Sorry, Soul Cloud.
Okay, can we like roll a knowledge check before we have to roll initiative?
It's a cumulonimbus soul tornado.
Yep,
You know what?
There you go. Nailed it.
Sure, you can roll. We can roll a knowledge. One person can roll a knowledge check before you roll initiative.
Is it what would is it mysticism? Is
Probably
Yes.
mysticism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mysticism. Okay.
I would say like this, since we're in
It's
another
not me.
plane and we have a
Could-
planar guy.
I will
also
say
has a lot of
that,
mysticism.
yeah, Heath, you will be able to use your theme knowledge to reduce the DC here because this does have to do with specifically the astral plane.
Booyah.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So go ahead and give me that mysticism roll, please.
Okie doke. I mean, I gotta look at my bonus, but it's gonna be good because I rolled a 19 on the die. My mysticism bonus is 12, so 20,
All right,
31.
You nailed it. So, yeah, I'll give you the whole rundown. Why not?
Nice. Let's go.
Okay, so
They're from a soul planet.
I mean, look, man, you guys are doing it now. It's not even me.
Is that a
we
fish
know.
song?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's like a notorious fish song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a mondegreen. Okay, so these are panic psychomentals.
Okay.
All right.
That's what I was about to say.
Psychomentals are born on the astral plane from strong, concentrated emotions, especially those experienced by a number of creatures in close proximity to one another. Well, it seems like we have the perfect situation for these things to come around. Panic is only one of the many emotions that can cause psychomentals to form, but it is one of the most common. It has some abilities. These abilities are nasty. These are not very powerful beings. They're low level, but the things that they have are really annoying. So they have some special abilities, one of which is called Synaptic Pulse. As a standard action, this psychomental can emit a mental blast that can stun all creatures within the range of its telepathy. Ooh-wee, that's nasty. It also has mental static. Creatures within 30 feet of the psychomental are affected by an impairing mind fog. Creatures inside the aura must succeed at a will save or take a penalty to will saves and intelligence and wisdom-based skill checks. Yikes.
That's not good.
And then
for
here's a
us.
real nasty one. Mind wipe. A psychomental that moves through a creature can erase the memories and experiences of that creature. When it does so,
Holy shit.
the target loses one randomly determined spell as if the spell had been cast. And it regains hit points.
I like it.
We got to keep the casters back.
Yeah, sure.
Let me talk to you about this goo, okay? So this is like the hallway is filled with ectoplasmic goo. Now you can walk through it, but it is difficult terrain, and as you could probably presume, there might be some other saves versus effects from being exposed to astral ectoplasmic goo. So let's go ahead and roll initiative. I feel like I gave you a lot of information.
What does this, so it imparts, difficult terrain, the goo does.
Yes.
And, yeah,
That's all I'm going to tell you for now.
okay. All right.
Dude, listen, my will saves are so shit, okay?
Well, mine are shit too, but mine get actively worse every single turn.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yikes. Okay. So, looks like we got a natural 20 there.
Oh, baby, I got a natural 20 on initiative. Wonderful.
Subhana, I
I'm
must
rolling
ask
some
you,
shit initiative, man.
are you I thought you were frozen for a second, John. Let's go ahead and get that initiative roll, please. All right.
30-20.
Gilderon, per usual, is here at the top of this. Now, I think the first thing that I'm going to need you to do before you do anything is roll against that mental static effect. So let me get a will save.
I'm at least pretty good at those. Is this a fear effect?
No.
Or a mind affecting
It is a
effect?
mind affecting, yes.
Okay, so I do get eternal hope. I am very hopeful. So it allows me to get a +2 to saving throws. Nope, it's just fear effects. That's my other character that has mind affecting effects. Okay, so never mind. Here we go. That's pretty good. 16 on the die for 25 total.
All right, that's great. I need you to do that 3 more times because there are 4 of these emitting this static.
Oh, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Here we go. Not as good. 15.
That's still a pass. Let's keep it rolling.
Okay, that's good info to have. All right, here we go. And a 14 on the die for a 23.
All right, you're looking good. One more time, buddy.
Iron Will. That was 3, right?
Yeah, I needed 3 more on top of your first one.
Okay, here we go. You son of a gun. Ooh, yuck. That's a 5 for a 14.
Man, you were so close. You almost did it. You almost failed to save, but you didn't.
Okay, I thought that's where you were going, but I wasn't sure.
And you did it.
All right.
Okay, phew.
All right. So, okay, that's the first deal. I forgot to tell you that these guys are incorporeal as well.
Of course they are.
Wonderful, super duper.
Okay, so you can now take your turn, Gilderon.
Okay, so you said that this is the only thing you're going to tell us about this goo. I want to learn about the goo, the
Okay,
ectoplasm.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a mysticism
So,
check.
like, I feel all these effects, and I'm like, I think we shouldn't go any further without more information. So, is it mysticism?
Yes, please.
Here we go. Oh, well, that's a natural 1, so I'm gonna re-roll, baby.
Oh,
no,
shit.
no. Okay. All right, I'll just re-roll that. Mysticism. Here goes. Not much better, but it is actually. That's 17. Okay, 17 on the die for a 30. Dirty.
That's a dirty 30. Taking it back to the early years there, the dirty 30. I used to hate it. Now I don't.
Now you love it. Now
I
it's
love
just
it.
part of the lexicon.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah, I'll tell you.
Okay, tell me.
There's going to be a save to walk through it. All right.
Okay.
So if you succeed at an athletics check, you at the beginning of your turn, and it doesn't cost an action to do, you can ignore the difficult terrain as you just power your way through it. If you have a swim speed, you can use that speed instead of your ground speed with no penalty and ignore the difficult terrain. This ectoplasm will give partial concealment to all creatures within it.
Okay.
And then, if you are exposed to the ectoplasm via touch, and you are not a native of the astral plane, you must succeed at a fortitude save. On a failure, you will get drowsy, and some bad things will happen.
Oh no.
Oh, damn. Okay.
This is.
Would you say that this
so
is
fun.
a harmful gas or vapor or like a toxic atmosphere? Harmful gaseous effect?
It's not gaseous.
Like, is it like energy that's causing this?
I mean, it's astral
Effect.
goo.
And it's like permeating this local atmosphere we're in, kind of like a gas.
No, I'm going to say no because
No?
of the way that you're trying to
What?
manipulate this conversation.
Yeah, right. Leading the GM.
It's not smoky or foggy.
It's not smoky.
gaseous or
It's not
vaporous.
gaseous. It is like Jello.
Okay. Is
So
it-
if you have something that can deal with Jello, by all means, lay it
well,
on
I
me.
got including corrosive, thick, thin.
Just tell me
and
what it
toxic
is. Like,
atmosphere. Well, I can't
this
do it
big
right
coy
now because
shit.
I just used my standard action, so I can't use it. But I do have a first level spell called Life Bubble.
What did you use your standard action for?
Is that not a standard action to recall?
No.
Oh, is that a move?
I feel like
It's no
Life
act-
Bubble
no-
is
no cost.
exactly the
Okay.
kind of spell for this situation.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
Well, the
you surround
problem
the
is
target
life-
creature.
Okay. You go ahead.
You surround the target creature with a constant and movable 1-inch shell of tolerable living conditions, customized for each creature. The shell enables the target to breathe freely in a variety of atmospheric conditions, including corrosive, thick, thin, and toxic atmospheres, as well as underwater or in a vacuum. It also makes the target immune to harmful gases and vapors, including inhaled diseases and poisons, as well as spells with a harmful gaseous effect.
Nope.
In addition, the shell protects targets and their equipment from extreme temperatures
Nope.
and radiation and extreme pressures.
Nope.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't cover.
It's a hard no. Hard
Hard no? Oh, man.
Let's go.
It's like, okay, here we go. I'm going.
Worth a try.
It was worth
Valiant-
a try. Took
valiant
too long
effort,
to do
you
the
know?
try, but it was worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it. So I'm just going to put my hand on Sayun's shoulder and then cast Chromatic Safeguard.
Okay.
He's just going to have things
floating.
floating around him, little goblets of energy. I don't have any of my dice here, so...
Gilderon, I can't help but feel that you want me to rush headlong into this gooey hallway. I am rather disinclined to do such a thing.
Well, I think that you should, but be a little safe about it, you know?
You will get an extra wisp because you're a 5th level, so 5th level adds a wisp to it, so there is going to be 4 of these wisps floating around you. You can choose one. So I think, what did you say? You choose acid for the first one? Is that what I
I
heard?
think this would be acidy. This feels very acidy.
Let's
but,
say that. Like, we're not going to deliberate. Let's say acid, and you
Yeah,
got
acid.
Roll,
And
roll
then-
me
and then
3d6s beyond that.
Okay. Here we go. So we got a 2, we got a 3, and we got a 5. So that is
Another acid,
another
sonic,
acid,
and electricity.
yeah.
Okay.
So 2
Zach,
acid,
will
sonic, and
you
electricity.
make note of that for you so you can track that? So that's
Well,
Thank you. All right, wonderful. All right,
Okay.
now, that will be a standard action. Would you like to
Yes.
move? Action.
I am not going to move, but I am going to activate Drift Step.
Okay.
And there we go.
Excellent.
Okay, Subhana, you are up. Let's see if you can come in under the same amount of time that Dustin just took on his first turn.
That's right. That was so efficient.
So I'm going to hold my turn and see what the fuck they do.
oh my
Fucking
god.
beautiful. All
I
right.
love it. I love it.
Okay, well, the inconclusive panic psychomental is going to it's going to just keep like pounding at this door, trying to get through the door to presumably where the Wise family has barricaded themselves up.
Yeah.
That's what I was worried about, is that they're like panic drawn creatures, so they're just going to go after the panicked family no matter what.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I will say, as a... Well, first of all, I need you... No, you delayed your turn. So that's what they're going to do. The pointless panic psychomental is, since they can't get to the door and is looking at you, is going to go ahead and fire off a synaptic pulse. So all of you, I think... Yes, all of you are in range, although I don't think I have line of sight on Gil or Subana, so this is really just going to be targeted to Sayun and Raya. I need you guys both to roll me some will saves.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Fuck. 15.
Save.
14 on the die plus a big 1 on that will save, by the way. I'm terrified. I'm terrified this whole combat. This I'm scared.
Yeah, this is gonna be rough for
I'm
us.
scared.
17.
Pass.
Nice.
Its shit was pointless. Now it's the aching panic psychomental. That one
Round
is
two.
that one's gonna hurt himself and ache in its whatever constitutes a hand for these things as it tries to pound through the door. This brings us to Raya. Now, Raya, I need you to roll 4 will saves.
Jesus.
This is after you take your first mutation point. So go ahead and take that mutation point. Then give me 4 will saves. And this is just against the mind static. So you're getting like this fuzzy sound in your mind that's trying to distract you. Can you resist it? Let's see.
Okay. Dirty 20 on the first one. 11 on the second one.
Oh boy, that is a fail.
I mean, I'm gonna fail some of these. I have a plus
so,
1.
it doesn't stack, so you don't need to continue rolling. But
Okay.
you do now have a -1 to will saves and all intelligence and wisdom based checks. So please note that. I'm going to make a note myself, but just kind of keep that in mind too. All right. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
-1 to
Will
will.
saves and then wisdom and intelligence based checks.
All right, just making my note. Got it? Okay. I am going to move into the room. Now, you said, is it a move action to make the athletics? Or?
It's no cost, but you have to commit to the move, right? So if you fail, you still have to move, but this is part of your move to see whether or not you ignore difficult terrain or not. So it's an athletics
I'm
check.
going to move either way.
Yep.
All right, good deal. Well then, let's see. That is a 21.
A 21 is a pass, so you can disregard the difficult terrain. You know, when you take your first step in, I'm going to need you to roll a fortitude save, please.
A fortitude? Okay.
Yep.
I'm at least better at those than Will. But a natural 1's gonna negate any of that benefit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is just a tiny little tornado of tortured souls. I mean, this can't be.
So you step in there. Go ahead and make your full move because you still get your full move.
Well, it's complicated here, and let me explain why. I was gonna move up to here, which is 10 feet thus far, and use a swift action and activate the Crimson Bangles that Dustin was nice enough to give me. So basically create a little point that I can teleport back to. So if I get deep into the room and I need to get out, I can teleport back to early in the hallway.
Can I suggest something?
Sure.
maybe you use a swift action initially outside the hallway to put your bangles there, and then that way you still have a full movement, because once you stop and do a swift action, you can't move further than where you are.
Yeah, I mean, I considered that. However, the problem is the range. It has 30-foot range, and if I get outside that range, which would be going up to where the creatures are, I cannot use it.
Ah, I see. All right,
So I'm going to have to sacrifice kind of this first turn to set that up.
okay,
You know?
that's fine. All right, so you kind of push your way through the goo. It doesn't impede you. You're strong. You know, it feels weird and gross, and as you're like pushing your way through and you're activating the bangles, drowsiness fills your mind. And you gain the fatigued condition
God.
for 1 round.
Oh, okay. At least it's just for a round.
Sounded a lot more terrifying.
Yeah. And so as part of my move action, I will morph my hand into a dragon claw to be able to get my adaptive strike. And you said these things are incorporeal, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so the good thing is that I do have a feature that lets me attach fusions to my adaptive strike as though it was a normal weapon. So I did a while back get myself the invigorating fusion, so it'll at least be able to do half damage to incorporeal
Right, because
creatures.
it makes it energy or whatever, or magical rather.
Magical,
Yep.
yes.
All right, sounds good. All right, it is the final panic psychomental, and this is the resilient one. And it is also going to attempt a synaptic pulse. So I will need a will save from both Sayun and Raya.
Well, so was that my whole time though?
You moved. I guess you have a standard action.
Yeah, what that I could just convert into a move action, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I did an action and a move action and a swift action.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. So she sets up this little gloomp, little teleport back spot by clinking those crimson bangles together, and then so it would be another athletics check to see if I overcome.
No,
difficult
it's
terrain?
1 athletics per turn. Okay.
Okay, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I roll will save.
Yes.
So with another action, I can get up in there.
All right, I got you, buddy. Shoo.
Okay, that sucks. That's a 10.
What the heck? There.
That's a 10,
Yeah.
my dude. All right, what about you, Raya? Another will save, please.
Okay. 17.
Okay, well, at least Raya passes, but Sayun, you are stunned.
Okay.
And stunned, I will remind you
can't
guys.
do anything.
Stunned makes you flat-footed. You drop everything that you are holding, and you can't take actions. So you have to drop your sword. And
He hasn't even drawn his sword.
Oh, well, that's lucky for you. And you can't take any actions, okay? And this last, let me see. I think it's just for 1 round here. Yeah, so you're stunned for 1 round.
All right, well, you still got Subana.
Yep.
Yep.
Subana has held her turn. And we're now, it is technically Sayun's turn, but he can't do anything, so we're going to skip past you onto Subana.
All right, yeah, so Sabana's going to go ahead and move 5 feet just so she can get a better view distance of what's going on here. Okay, so I didn't realize that the hallway was that long. Okay, cannot fire. We have attacked these things, right?
Nope.
You have a can
No,
of
we have
fire?
Okay, all right. God, the scientist in me doesn't want to fire at something, but the player in me says, "Hey, we're in initiative right now."
I mean, they are offensively
right
on you guys. They have made offensive moves on you.
Right. They
And
took
the other
hostile
two
action.
in the back are trying to break through presumably to harry and attack the Wise family.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
We know they're not like nice people we could reason with. you
Right,
know?
fair enough,
They're
fair
they're
enough.
like tornadoes of panicked souls.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I didn't take that language, so I'm going to go with a azimuth laser rifle. We're going to go ahead and take a shot against the
Try
one
to get
to
a
the
shot
left.
there. Now, first thing I need you to do is roll 4 will saves.
Yeah, I figured as much. I wanted to take the risk because I wasn't just going to sit there and I'm just going to do nothing. Let's see here.
You won't be sit there and do nothing.
Good news is that either way, I think that you only roll once on the static.
Okay, and it's not a fear effect, right? I'm sure it's not, right?
It's not.
Okay, cool. That's
Uh,
one.
Okay, that's 1. What'd you get? Tell me what you get. Tell the
So,
listeners.
I got a 20 on the first roll.
All right.
Got a 16 on the second roll.
All right. So far, you're keeping the static at bay.
15 on the third roll.
Okay, doing good.
Oh, that's it. It's 6 on the fourth.
All right, you too will now be taking a -1 to all will saves and intelligence and wisdom based skill checks.
Super cool.
Not great there. So you've moved.
Yeah,
you're gonna fire. I need you to roll concealment first, please.
Alrighty. Okay, that is a 59.
All right, you get through the concealment. Let's get that attack roll.
Yep. Let me target. Oh, got a crit fail on that one.
Goodness gracious, that is terrible.
Yep, that
This
was.
has been
Gosh.
a really bad start to this combat, so I feel like we need to reset. So we'll see.
You know, that's fair to
I
be
know what I was
honest.
gonna do.
This wasn't our day, gents.
STF Network.
That's right.
If you want to hear more from us, check out our other Starfinder and Pathfinder shows at the STFnetwork.com. That's the STFnetwork.com. And support us on Patreon to listen to our bonus podcasts, including our homebrew adventures and Tom Talks, our behind-the-scenes show. Stay groovy, possums.